Okay, so ready to go?
Right. Sure. Just in case there are new people here this time that were not here last time that have no idea what this is Polar Night.
Mm.
It's a horror furry visual novel by Karis and the Polar Night team. And it's about the family of a bunch of researchers and other people at
Let us
sea that
know if
went
things start
missing
to...
some time ago, basically putting together an expedition to go find them, or what's left of them.
Yes. And
That's it.
on the off chance, here is the first one. The audio mixing is terrible, and I will blow your ears out for an hour, but you can at least know the beginning as we played it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. Which one's Tabby? Oh,
This is
yeah,
your
yeah.
character.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was trying to figure out if it was the...
Abby's the bitch.
She's the bitch. Okay. What took you so long?
It looked like she was about to launch into a diatribe, but Gale cut her off.
Enough, Tabby.
The first time, I saw Gale flash a genuinely angry look. Tabby opened her mouth to speak, but surprisingly, Gale's glare was enough to make her shut up. If we're all ready. Sharif didn't even try to hide the irritation in his voice. With a flourish of his arm, we all started tromping through the snow in the direction of the Longyearbyen harbor. For a while, we marched in awkward silence, the embers of camaraderie we'd kindled during our coffees mostly snuffed out, sorry. I normally didn't mind walking in silence around others, but given the awkward tension in the air, right now, I'd give anything to be somewhere else. I pray to God the voyage wouldn't be like this. With my nerves very much jangled, my hand automatically reached for my smokes. I yanked a cig from the pack with my teeth and reached in my other pocket for my lighter. As I flicked it and drew, I noticed Stefan was watching me intently. I clicked my lighter shut and patted my pocket holding my smokes. Want one?
Oh, sorry. I have to snooze the ads. Oh, no. Thank you. I was just looking at your lighter.
Raise one eyebrow. No? What about it?
Is it an Ellishorn?
My smoke drooped to my mouth, very nearly slipping out as I gave him a dumbfounded look. You know your stuff, I admitted, utterly amazed. He gave me a cheeky grin, pleased by my astounded reaction.
I collected them when I was younger. Never had that one, but I recognize it from old catalogs.
His smug grin was replaced by a more longing look.
Could I see it? Just for a sec?
We've fallen a good few feet beyond the others. I guess it was good that Sharif and Tabby didn't bitch at us for holding them back. Besides, I was more at ease talking to one person than five. I hesitated for a moment with the lighter. Then I slowly placed it in his outstretched hand. He gave me a grateful smile, then pulled off both of his gloves and tucked them under his arms so he could inspect them more easily.
I realized I was also going to sit with you and test this guy's voice out before we were going to do this, so that's one extra
Then you
thing.
forgot?
No, I remembered. I didn't like his old voice, that one. I wanted to do something a little bit, like, better.
You didn't like how scrunkly he sounded? But look
No,
at this guy, he's so scrunkly.
But the scrunkly's good, but I wanted, like, a in-between, like, what I'm doing right now and the super scrunkly I was doing last time, because the last time was like versus like, so I'm like,
It's alright, we'll make a voice actor out of you yet.
Eventually.
I should charge for that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
joking.
should.
I'm charging for all the ad revenue you're making off this video.
The 2 cents that I probably
The
will
2 whole cents, yeah. we gotta fund the expedition somehow. He turned it over in his hands, running a single finger down the very faded embossed design on its face before flicking it open.
Oh, May I?
He gave me a look that was more of a pleading one than of curiosity. I nodded, kind of taken aback by his fascination. When it sparked into life, first time, naturally, he gazed at the flame with a look of awe. He actually stopped in his tracks for a moment, transfixed. I stopped too, watching with a growing sense of bewilderment. I tentatively reached out and snapped the lid shut, snuffing the flame before pulling it from his hands. He blinked, seemingly snapping out of a trance.
Sorry. It's just such a pretty lighter. Well preserved and maintained, too.
Thanks. It belonged to my grandpa. He got it during the Second World War.
Sorry, one sec.
Damn, eating on stream? So unprofessional. Unbelievable.
I know, I'm so hungry. I was like, oh, I can get this by real quick. And then I screwed it up.
It's fine.
This has turned into a random mukbang.
Yeah, people pay real money for those.
I think you get banned for it nowadays. Maybe that's only on YouTube.
Wait, really?
Though. I know on YouTube you're not allowed to do mukbangs anymore.
Yeah, Twitch is way more liberal with stuff, you know? Like, they let you get away with anything these days, right, Twitch?
Right?
Right.
Damn, it's in great condition now, all things considered. I bet your Gramps had stories to tell.
My
That's a
tail,
little better.
very much not by my will, began to sway as my mood brightened. It was kind of annoying that us canids and lupines are such obvious tells of our moods. Other people find it cute and endearing, even though we often couldn't help it. Well, I don't remember too much about his stories, but he never really spoke much about the war except for complaining about how his squad kept stealing his smokes. He died when I was pretty young. Actually, this belonged to my brother before I got it.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Still, it's awesome that you got such a memento. It's a little piece of history, you know?
My tail swayed more vigorously, and I grinned. Oddball he may be, but I liked him. Either Gale and Aaron had slowed to intercept us, or we'd been walking faster than I thought. The pair clustered with us,
shoot,
Gale
sorry.
and Aaron. Damn.
Oh no!
Ruined.
I'm so
Now we gotta-
unprofessional.
Now we gotta go back to the start and reread everything. The pair clustered with us, Gale and Aaron a few steps ahead, while Stefan and I walked side by side.
Okay, so an ad is about to start, so I'm going to, because I have to let an ad roll at the beginning, or it'll make me do it over and over. So
Watch the ad.
watch
Give
the
the
ad,
bear
guys.
their
I'm so
money.
sorry.
Mute it or something, I don't know. Meanwhile, I will be here, doing nothing.
What's a
I will
Michelle
feel the-
Rodriguez? Leslie mentioned in the chat Michelle
Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know who that is. I am not American. Lol, you'll see. Like, clearly he expected you to know. Is this yet another Donji fail?
I mean, Dana. Who's Dana? It's
He's not watching
possibly-
the ad, Donji. He's not watching the ad, he's already responding.
How are you watching? How are you watching? I don't know. Oh, now the ad's going. It's 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Lamau.
I'm glad I could enjoy these for 30 seconds at least. These are so good. I'm so sorry. I'm so unprofessional, but I was so hungry. And I
It's
messed up.
fine. Don't worry.
I'm gonna cry
It's
about it. I'm
okay.
gonna cry about my unprofessional.
It's fine. Once the stream's over, I'm eating some chips or something. I don't fucking know. I'm eating something.
I'm gonna eat this one,
My...
and then I'll be done.
Hey, good evening.
Hello.
We kind of started a while back. We're resuming after the ads. I don't know if they're still playing.
They're done. So
They're done? Alright, lovely. We can resume.
I'm gonna scarf this really quick, and then yeah.
We explained what Polar was at the start of the stream. If you don't know, you can look at the itch page real fast. It's pretty cool. As well say.
Honestly, I wonder if I can link that in well, I did it on the YouTube, so I wonder if there's a way for me to link it while we're streaming it.
I'll mute real fast to sneeze. Give me a sec.
Okay.
See, now I'm also being unprofessional. A real professional would have kept that in for the entire fucking stream. Ah, well. We can resume when you're ready.
I was meaning to ask.
He'll give me a concerned look.
Do you get those painful episodes with your eye often?
I swallowed and felt a pang in my chest. Again with my eye. I took another draught of my smoke, giving myself a moment to consider. Not that often, no. Usually it isn't that bad, and I use my eye drops anyway, which typically stops it. I took another long draw before adding. Cold weather makes it worse, so I brought a shitload of eye drops with me.
Oh, I'm glad. It didn't look like a fun time.
She said with sympathetic understatement. Must have been quite the accident to do that to your face. Perhaps it was the presumptuous way he phrased it, or my growing impatience with the subject. Whatever it was, my limbs tightened, and my fur bristled. My slowly swaying tail paused and raised, hurling upward. Before I could stop myself, a lip quivered, exposing a single fang while my chest vibrated with a soft growl. Aaron's tone was sympathetic, but I didn't care. I was shutting this shit down right now. A sharp, acrid scent of burned lemons hit my nostrils. Scent of fear and alarm. Judging by the two new, similar but distinct scents, Gail and Stefan were also clearly alarmed by my reaction. I mean, what I meant was, it must have really hurt. Stefan and Gail gave him withering looks. The tip of my smoke glowed brightly as I inhaled deeply, closing my eyes and settling myself. As I calmed down, my prickling fur settled and I hid my fangs. As the anger subsided, guilt and shame took its place. My reaction was instinctual, yes, but over the top. And I really didn't want to add to the awkwardness that had already marred our first impressions. Don't worry about it. I get that a lot. They each gave me relieved looks. Still, I wanted more than anything to change the subject. Gail? Did Tabby mention you were looking for your mom? I very much wanted to get off the topic. Maybe digging at someone else's would suffice.
Damn.
Yeah, just do it.
Oh, yes. Our mom.
Tear that bitch apart!
Emma Waters. She's the ship's doctor. Main reason I decided to go into nursing, actually. Cool. Did she mention Alex at all? Alexander Golubov?
Gullible.
Golubov.
His face shone of excitement.
Well, I'm glad that your wife said it's cool. I do feel a bit like a glutton slamming sliders while I'm trying to talk or do some voice acting. If only the characters were eating right now.
Yeah, you wish.
I wish. Oh, yeah. The cook, isn't he? She told me stories about him. Quite the character. That's my bro.
The fun being widely.
I learned how to cook from him. Can't wait to introduce you. His goulash is to die for.
It took a second for me to catch the last part. Introduce? Wait, you still think they're alive? Aaron spoke my thoughts aloud.
Of course. Just wait until you meet Alex. He's one of the best. He's just the best storyteller. And a cook. Oh man. The one time he made the best honey roasted, and then they move into a thing where they're eating food so that I can.
Aaron had a clear look of confusion, and when he met my eyes, we both raised a brow. Gale, on the other hand, listened intently, smiling and nodding along like he wasn't mad. If you want, I can just voice everybody until you're done eating, you know, like...
If you want to. I mean, I am kind of hungry.
Alright, temporarily.
Okay. Temporarily pausing me. I'll just... Yeah.
Nah,
Thanks, Sedge.
it's fine, don't worry. Both of them knew the Aaron had been missing for 2 years, right? The RV Aaron. An enormous Arctic research vessel tasked with studying Greenland glaciers. The ship that vanished without a trace 2 years ago. The ship my older brother served aboard. Sharif's letters came out of the blue, a few months after the search was called off. I remember my mom screaming. The first, could you go back? First display of emotion she had in months. I sprinted down the stairs, alarmed to find her clutching a letter with tears in her eyes, yet an excited grin. Initially, I was skeptical. We'd received so many letters since their disappearance. Well wishes, mostly, but a shocking amount of hucksters offering psychic help or private search opportunities. But this one was different. Sharif actually had a loved one on board, and we recognized him from news reports and interviews. But Sharif had failed to persuade international search efforts to resume. Instead, he would be privately funding a voyage. He couldn't afford to fund it entirely, so he needed help. And so, he made the offer that any family member who wanted to contribute to funding the search could participate if they chose. Mom obviously left it a chance. Despite my misgivings and protests, she took out a substantial loan on top of the cost to get me here, one she'd be repaying for years to come. So, what about you guys? Who are you bringing home? His voice shook me out of my thoughts. Bringing home probably had very different connotations of them compared to me and likely Aaron too, judging by his expression. My brother, Connor. He was a mechanic.
Oh, funny you should say that. Tabby studied mechanics.
Gail raised her voice a little, loud enough for Tabby to hear a good few paces ahead of us. And surprisingly, she didn't respond, leading Gail to give the back of her head a frustrated look. What about you, Aaron? My sister, Carrie. She was a navigator. He mumbled, barely audible. His confusion was replaced with an extremely uncomfortable look.
Oh, of course. Carrie Marsh. You look a lot like her, you know.
Yes. Yes, you do. Gail gave him a cheery smile, but I could see he was uncomfortable. Now it made sense why I recognized him when I first saw him. Images of Aaron crew members have been a fixture of news reports for months. So many personal stories of people whose lives have been cut tragically short, accompanied by grainy photos showing them of friends, family, lovers. Grim memorials play as an ongoing drama for a public that rapidly lost interest as the months without news dragged on and on. I remember the photo of a pretty young leopard navigator. The resemblance was uncanny. Oh, you don't say.
Yes. She's very pretty. I can't wait to meet her. I'll bet she has a tale to tell. I felt my stomach clench, and this time I avoided looking at Aaron. I avoided looked at Aaron. Oh no. Oh no, I need to write this down.
Oh no.
Heck. Oh no. Oh well.
You can type it into our Discord and I'll put it into
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna send this to the author later, so I can destroy them physically.
Oh, do not be sorry. I am over here like scarfing my face with Car has just sent some disturbance.
I am psychically attacking him right now, you know? I'm just astral projecting into his home to fucking strangle him.
Somehow,
Oh man,
they won't have
I should not be laughing this loud. It's 3 a.m. right now.
I know, that's why I felt bad. I was like, oh, we can't postpone this any longer. I don't want to keep Sedge up for a million years, so.
Nah, it's fine. I felt my stomach clenched,
Oops,
and this time
goddamn
I
it.
avoided looking at Aaron. There was no mockery in her tone. She was serious. She thought they were still alive. When I felt a vibration in my pocket, I was grateful for a chance to momentarily tune out the conversation. I pulled my phone out, seeing I had a new message.
Hi, love. You arrive okay? XXX.
It was Mom. My history had 7 messages from her. Most stuff I'd missed owing to the somewhat unreliable signal out here. All some variation of, have you arrived yet, or are you on the plane? I typed back, I'm okay in Svalbard. Talk to you later about the Bush ship. Before I slipped my phone back in my pocket. I need to remember to send her a message before we departed. Well, the Soviet satellite internet and phones we've used to contact the mainland, we've been warned about its unreliability. I didn't want to lose contact and have her worry. As I tuned back into the conversation, I realized we'd arrived at the harbor. Before us was the MV Sylvia. I knew it was chartered for just 8 of us, but for some reason I expected it to be bigger. It didn't look much from here. A top deck and main deck and presumably a lower deck. It looked more like a tourist ship than a search and rescue vessel. Still, I come this far. In for a penny? Waiting for us at the boarding ramp was a shark girl chatting idly of 2 others. She seemed quite cheerful. Her voice carried over to us as we approached, light and enthusiastic.
1 second. So, maybe I should just voice all the girl characters. I didn't realize there'd be so many of them.
What do you mean you didn't realize there were so many of them? This novel is goated. This novel's goated. What do you mean?
Well, when we were talking before this happened, or before we actually started, I did look through the sprites, but for some reason I thought that the sprites were side characters too.
Nah, there's no side characters in this.
Because I like how you're doing Stefan's voice, so I think you should take him back.
Sure. Alright.
Okay. Did you read this already? Okay.
Yeah, I did read this
Okay.
already. When she spotted us, she immediately grinned and waved, beckoning us.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
Oh dear. Oh my god.
I thought I turned
Oh,
my mic
no.
off for it.
Oh,
I saw the light come back on.
oh no.
I'm ruining it. I'm sorry, Polar Night
my
devs.
God.
I'm not this horrible and disgusting. I was hungry.
I'm dead.
I'm cutting
my
that
God.
out of the YouTube video.
No, keep that in. Keep that in.
No.
That's content right there.
You can clip it and
Oh
put it in. But
Oh,
I'll be too embarrassed if if they're like, this fucker is not serious.
it was so strong, too.
I was trying to
Oh,
turn my
Lord.
mic off. That was disgusting. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Professional stream, everybody. We're professionals. We're professionals.
Okay, I never claimed to be a professional streamer.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Well,
I totally did. I'm the most professional. Really, you've never seen a professional like me, okay? I am the most professional.
okay.
Okay. I
I'm
can't do
better now.
impressions.
But what? Sorry.
I can't do impressions.
Oh, no worries.
Ah well. When she spotted us, she merely grinned and waved, beckoning us. Then there was a tigress who, upon our approach, gave us a piercing stare. Not hostile as such, more analyzing. When she locked eyes with me, she gave me a searching look for cracking a small smile. And the final figure was a huge guy, a servant who, while not as tall as Sharif, was much more muscular.
He's buff, bro.
His deep, booming voice echoed across the quiet dock as he laughed heartily at something the shark girl had said. Sharif strode ahead of our group with long strides and utter confidence in his form. He smoothly extended her hand to the shark girl, towering over her. Without missing a beat, she beamed and accepted his handshake, saying something I couldn't quite hear from my position. He turned, facing us all as our group arrived. The stag and tiger shuffled around, so we formed a semicircle around Sharif and the shark lass. May I have your attention, please? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Sharif Abdi. I am responsible for this expedition as its principal financier. But we're all here for the same reason. To find your loved ones, or their fate. There were a few uncertain glances amongst our group. Once you're all on board and settled in your cabins, we will review the itinerary and how our search will be conducted. This is June. She is a ship's stewardess and your point of contact for the voyage. She will tend to your needs and answer your questions regarding the ship and its rules.
Hello, everyone. Pleased to meet you.
She waved at us with a cheerful grin. I will meet you all in the lounge at 11:30 p.m. Please be punctual. Without waiting for a response, he gave June a curt nod and strode up the ramp onto the deck before disappearing inside.
Well, if you would all kindly follow me.
She beckoned to us in our motley group. After a few mutual glances, we gathered our bags and cases and moved toward the boarding ramp. I paused at the foot of the ramp, drawing on my cigarette again. Gazing up the ramp gave me a sudden bout of anxiety. This was it. Point of no return. With a final draw for flicking away the butt, I sighed and started my way up into the Sylvia. As folks filed in through the door to the ship's interior, June bobbed her head to each person as if making a mental head count. She turned to look back at me, then grinned and waved. I grinned stupidly and returned the wave. Her bright, cheery expression just seemed to help melt away the knot of anxiety in my chest. At least until I felt a huge hand on my shoulder. Prostite, у вас найдется огонка. I don't know Russian. Unfortunately, I do not know Russian. I turned and saw a wall that hadn't been there before. A wall wearing a warm winter jacket. Slowly my eyes traveled upwards until I saw a stern-looking face gazing down at me. The bull spoke with what sounded like a Russian accent. And even by Bovid standards, this guy was fucking gargantuan. My jaw flapped open a few times as I tried to get words out.
Evening, Joseph. Finishing your rounds?
She bounded up behind us. I cringed as I realized she'd been waving to this guy, not me. Yes. Just wanted to know if I could have a light. He never took his eyes off me. He didn't seem to be trying to intimidate me, he just seemed very intense. And a guy his size didn't need to try to be intimidating. Of course, no problem. I reached inside my pocket and produced my lighter. From somewhere on his vast bulk, he produced a rolled cigarette, placed it between his lips, and leaned down for me to light it.
Sorry, pause. Who is Nerton? From what Leslie said.
Nerton is the artist for Polar Knight.
Oh, really?
He is Russian, so I'm fairly certain he
Awesome.
helped out with this character's writing.
That's cool.
Yeah, he makes great art. He drew all the characters. I'm fairly certain he drew the vast majority, if not the totality, of the backgrounds and CGs.
Okay.
I don't know
look him
if
up.
there are any like, yeah, I'm not sure if like if there's any like CC free stuff in here. But you won't be able to tell. Trust me. Yeah, I can send you a link later.
Yeah, please do.
His nostrils flared as he inhaled, the tip of his cigarette glowing as it caught. Spasibo. He inhaled, then let out a massive cloud of smoke and condensation from the bitterly cold air. Mine broke. Won't get a chance to replace it for a while. I felt a hand tugging at my sleeve.
Let's go. Sorry, I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, I'm Garrett. Pleased to meet you both. And I'm sorry if I can't make a good Scottish accent. I dropped it because I couldn't keep it up. It was cringe.
Hey, well, we're both figuring out the voice acting thing.
Yeah.
June Caverin, just in case you missed it. And this is...
Joseph. I'm the bosun. Automatically, I extended a hand, which June shook with enthusiasm. When I offered it to Joseph, he also accepted. I try not to think about how his hand almost engulfed mine.
Come on now, let's get you settled. You must be looking forward to taking a load off.
I gave Joseph a polite smile and nod as June led me off toward the ship's superstructure.
Don't mind him. Joseph is a sweetheart. A bit quiet, but nice.
She led me through the doorway where the others had entered. Immediately, I was hit with the comforting warmth of the ship's heated interior. An involuntary shudder went through me, as if my body was expelling the chill from my bones. As she closed the door behind me, the soft whistling of the wind abruptly stopped.
You said that they did the backgrounds too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is such a
Fairly
good background.
certain.
Huh?
I would need to check just in case, but I'm fairly certain they did all the art.
Yeah.
Let me just go and check real quick.
Now this is really good. This is the type of background that I've wanted to do for in the spotlight.
Yes, all art. Like the only art link on the page is Nerd and W. So yep, it's
Well,
all his.
That's awesome.
There's some good shit.
Agreed.
We were in a lounge of some sort. A well-stocked bar, complete with stools that stood to one end, but comfy-looking sofa nestled against the outer wall. On the other side was a large table with chairs set up around them, like a cross between a conference room and dining room.
This is the Explorers Club. Pretty neat, huh?
Given the nature of his voyage, I'd almost expected a Spartan, gray and drab utilitarian ship. And I guess you're brief realized that if we were going to be searching the Arctic Ocean, might as well do it in style.
I'll give you guys the full tour, but for... Uh-oh. Did something happen? 1 second.
No?
I had some frame drops.
Oh, I guess I think I saw them too, but it's fine.
Okay.
Looking fine now.
Good. Apologies, I get distracted when that happens. I gotta focus. I'll give you guys the full tour, but first you should get settled. The stairs are just on your left through that door there.
She fished a set of keys from her pockets and handed it to me.
Once you drop off your stuff, Sharif wants everyone to gather back here.
Got it, thanks. She flashed me another 2V smile before walking up the steps to the upper floor. There was a buzz of chatter and excited conversations in the cabins as I descended the stairs. The corridor for the cabins was a bit less swanky than upstairs. I could see the others with the open cabins, admiring their accommodations for the foreseeable future. A little over halfway down the corridor, I found the door to my cabin. Garrett Reed. I slid the key in and unlocked it. The first thing that struck me was the smell. A piney wood scent. The room seemed a bit bigger than it was, thanks to the light painted walls, but the mahogany paneling along the separating wall gave it a touch of class.
I really like the story so far. I appreciate the variety of characters in this. Sukoshi? Is that how you say that?
It's Reggie.
Oh, Reggie?
They're Reggie.
Hi, Reggie.
Hi, their name is Reggie.
I will be endlessly confused if your name is not the same everywhere. But I will try.
Nah, it's fine. And double bed I'm older myself too. Very sweet. And in the corner by the door was a small sofa and a coffee table, on which a teapot and cups were already placed. I suddenly realized I was gasping for a cup of tea. More than a cigarette, even. Yeah, that's how you can tell this guy is British.
The original
Technically, also the character. I wouldn't call it high-class living, but for a ship cabin, it was pretty nice. Better than a lot of hotel rooms I stayed in, certainly. With a relieved sigh, I slipped my backpack off and placed it on the bed. My back was matted in half from my jacket and the weight of a pack. It had been fine out in the cold, but now we were in a cozy environment. I was sweating up a storm. I gave myself a sniff. It was hard to trust my nose from a few years of smoking, but I detected the unpleasant scent of sweat. I wonder if I have time for a shower. Actually, wait, go back. I wonder if I have a time for a shower. That should be past tense.
Oops. Write it down.
Should probably write that down. Alright.
Beware, if we read
Begin
your
resume.
novel, we'll send you a list of troubleshooting.
We will send you a list of complaints. We expect them to be fixed within the hour. If you don't, there will be consequences.
We'll burn you down. All 11 of us will go and review bomb everything.
I find as many typos in other people's works as I don't find in my own.
Oh, that's the worst though. But hey,
Sorry.
as long as you're friends with them.
That's why. Yeah, that's why we're friends, you know, so we can beat the shit out of each other when the other typos.
Exactly. If you don't do that to me, I'll just feel like you hate me.
Exactly, you know.
Hey, Garrett.
Then you must feel very loved.
Oh yeah, so loved. You gotta kick me a little bit harder though, then I'll feel the true love. I have to be in agonizing pain. Excuse me.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hey Garrett, meeting starting. Did you say something?
Yeah, I said of course not.
Oh really? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I said that.
Huh.
Coming.
Could you imagine your VN getting an error code on stream? Holy shit, I would fucking die of embarrassment. But I doubt it'll happen with this one. Oh, imagine they do an update in the middle of our stream and it's just like... I mean, like, next stream, whatever.
With a heavy sigh, and hoping I could perhaps sit apart from the others until I could wash, I made my way back into the corridor, locking my cabin behind me. Pretty nice, huh?
It's not bad, actually. I wasn't sure what to expect.
At least we'll be able to see some neat stuff during the search. Wildlife, maybe an aurora.
I wouldn't count on seeing much. This time of year we'll probably get polar night.
Polar Night? That's the name of the inn! Oh my god.
Cut to credits.
It's like the like, yeah, that's like the Invincible title drop, you know? But like with Polar Night, like, boom. I don't know.
Basically, when night lasts longer than 24 hours. Besides, this isn't a sightseeing tour. We're here for a reason.
Sounds weird. Oh, and after I brought my camera with me. A pang of irritation hit me at his whining. What do you think this was, a fucking holiday?
This is perfect character for you. I'm sorry that I took it from you. The little whingy, cute character going, ugh.
Oh, I'm scrunkly. Ugh.
Anyway, let's get going. I, for one, want to see what Sharif has to say for himself.
Yeah, same. The three of us made our way up and back toward the lounge. As we re-entered the lounge, June was behind the bar stocking some bottles. She gave us a cheeky grin as we passed. Sitting on the nearby sofa was Joseph. He had a cup of coffee before him and he was watching the gathering in the conference room with interest. Everyone was gathered in the adjoining dining room, seated around the large table with Sharif sat at the head. There was a smattering of conversation when we arrived. Sharif watched us with an intense look, his fingers steepled before him. Even with his stony expression, I could sense the irritation from him. I took a free seat beside a tigress at the top of the table on Sharif's right. Gail sat on the other side of her. Stefan sat beside Aaron, who gave him a courteous smile and nod. Now that we are all present, he gave me, Stefan, and Gail pointed looks. I felt like a scolded student being given a talking to by my teacher. I'm sure you're all curious about the specifics of his expedition. Most of all, the new information about the location of the iron. The room was so quiet I could swear I could hear my own heartbeat. As such, I will.
One moment, Sharif.
All eyes went to Gale.
Why don't we all introduce ourselves? I don't know about anyone else here, but I've never met any of you before today.
It was hard to tell Sharif's thoughts from his expression. He seemed to have a permanent look of irritated boredom. Before he could say anything, though, the stag leaned forward onto the table. Great idea. I'll go first. Rufus Dixon. Pleased to meet y'all. My sister Hannah was the first officer. His baritone voice had a bit of a southern U.S. drawl to it. Despite his size, he radiated a warm friendliness.
Pleased to meet you.
All eyes moved to the next person along. With a nervous cough, Aaron spoke softly, barely a mumble. I'm Aaron Marsh. Carrie, my big sister, was a navigator. Stefan, who'd been fidgeting more and more, finally burst. Come on, what's with the was? They're still out there! All eyes turned to him. Even Tabby stopped fiddling with her phone to stare. Sharif pinched the bridge of his muzzle in exasperation. Without skipping a beat, he leaned forward, gazing from face to face, if daring anyone to contradict him. Stefan Golubov, and Mike Big Bro is alive, and I'm gonna bring him home.
That's my favorite expression of his so far.
I am small and cute, but I will kill you. I am Iggy. Only the soft sounds of June stuck in the bar could be heard in the silence that followed. And even that halted when June realized the clinking was drawing everyone's attention. Everyone returned to look at Tabby, who was still staring at Stefan. When she sensed all eyes on her, she immediately leaned back in her seat with a disinterested expression.
Guess it's me, Tabby. Mom was the the ship's doctor.
At this, she turned to glare at Gale.
And for the record, this was all Gale's idea. I don't want to be here, so the sooner this is over, the better.
Look between them could have killed. I suspect that Gale was regretting his introductions business.
I'm Gale. Gale Waters. Mom was...
She caught herself, returning the contemptuous look Tabby gave her.
Is Dr. Emma Waters, as Tabby said, who is my sister, in case it wasn't obvious.
The two stared each other down. Even Sharif glanced between the two as though half expecting one of them to lunge for the other. Thankfully, the tigers cleared her throat, drawing everyone's attention. She wore a slightly smug expression, arms folded, her piercing eyes moving over each speaker in turn.
I'm Dana. Captain McGregor was my father. And assuming Sharif wasn't blowing smoke up our collective asses, and we find the Aaron, I will prove he wasn't responsible for her disappearance.
She shot Sharif a sharp look. Unfortunately for her, he looked utterly unmoved. In fact, he looked bored, if anything. Big surprise. That was when I noticed everyone had turned their gazes to me. I felt my skin burn and my pulse quicken. I hated being the center of attention. I turned my face and my scarred eye was hard to see, as pointless as it was.
So relatable.
I'm Garrett. Garrett Reed. Pleased to meet you. I cringed at the quivering in my voice. My older brother was Connor Reed, a mechanic. When I saw Stefan and Gale shift uncomfortably, I realized I'd said was. Their sad expressions triggered a twinge of guilt, and I couldn't meet their eyes. But the truth was, that's what I believed. This was a search, not a rescue. Now, only Sharif remained. He stayed silent, his hands still steepled before him as he stared at nothing in particular.
Well,
Very well. I'm Professor Sharif Abdi. You may call me Sharif. And as my letter explained, I provided most of the funding for this expedition. Professor, what's your field? Anthropology. As for who I knew aboard, again, my letter made it clear. Could you remind me? It was a while ago. I sworn I saw a flicker of emotion through his stony expression. Professor Hagen. No way! You're the guy in charge? I will explain if you could be quiet for a moment. Stefan looked like he wanted to say more, but a barrage of annoyed looks silenced him. Professor Hagen was my supervisor for my PhD. He was also a close friend. That is why I'm here. That is as much as I'm willing to say on the topic. Now, if they're all finished getting to know each other, he shot Gale a piercing look, making her shift uncomfortably in her seat. No one else looked interested in interrupting. I understand you all may be skeptical. Nearly 2 years' worth of concerted search efforts for nothing. We have all put a great deal of money into this expedition. I assure you, I have planned the most efficient search pattern that will make the best use of our available time.
how long will the search last then? Your letter didn't specify that.
2 weeks. Tabby audibly groaned.
Great. A fortnight on this tub, and we don't even get to sightsee. But the inquiry searched the area around the Aaron's last radioed position. No trace was ever found.
True. Radio contact seemed normal at the time, but when you examine the GPS... Wait a minute! All eyes turned to Stefan, who had an intense look in his eye. Radio contact was not normal. They reported someone had been killed and their instruments were behaving strangely.
I remember the recordings from the inquiry. The captain mentioned the crew was having discipline issues. So what? We've been over this. Seems to me they got lost.
Aaron visibly seethed their insinuation, while Rufus put his hands on the table, barely containing his anger. My sister would never have allowed anyone on the crew to endanger the ship. Not in a million years. And there's no way Carrie would have gotten them lost, I guarantee it.
Mom mentioned something about...
Everyone started raising their voices at once, each protesting to the point where I couldn't make out what any one person was saying. Enough! His normally formal, quiet voice boomed out, startling everyone. He who stood, hands placed flat on the table as he stared down at us. We all fell silent. Even June, all the way over to the bar, had frozen in the middle of placing a ball on the shelf, seemingly afraid of clinking the glass. I am not here to relitigate the inquiry, and I don't care about blame. If you wish to repeat the same arguments of the last 2 years, do so in your own time and do not waste mine. Is that acceptable? It wasn't a question so much as a dare. His sapphire blue eyes scanned each of us in turn, as if challenging us to speak up. Even Rufus looked really uncomfortable under his unrelenting gaze. Splendid. And just like that, he sat back down, hands steepled once more as if nothing had happened. A few uncertain looks were exchanged across the table. As has been pointed out, the Aaron's last radio report placed it on its planned route. However, he pulled a large roll of paper from the bag beside him and rolled it out over the table. It was a map of the Arctic region, with Svalbard near the bottom left. Longyearbyen was marked a black cross, with a dollar line leaving the north, bringing it toward Greenland. I've seen this so many times before. Countless reconstructions, simulations, the path of the Aaron's voyage. But there was a second, red dotted line, a series of red X marks, with one large blue X. I've good reason to believe that Professor Hagen may have used a different route. We all exchanged confused looks. Different how? And how do you know? Because he left behind an itinerary for a second route for the expedition in case they hit multi-year ice. The Aaron was rated for first-year ice.
What's the difference?
First-year ice is ice that's less than a year old. Multi-year ice is potentially several years old. Multi-year is thicker than first year, enough that ships need to be rated specifically for it. It can be harder than concrete.
More than enough to hull a hull.
Hagen understood that if a chosen route was untenable, they'd require an alternative. However, the second route was quickly irrelevant, because an ice report suggested it would not be a problem. Wait. You're saying you found some note from Hagen saying, hey, if you don't find us where we're supposed to be, try here. Are we supposed to believe that?
Perfect.
Hagen left the itinerary of the University of Bergen's Birken Center for climate research as a routine procedure when planning the expedition. But that alone wouldn't be enough. While their last radio report put them here, he tapped the X marked on the original, official route, close to Greenland. Several GPS signals placed them nowhere near the official route.
This still sounds shaky. The inquiry said their GPS was faulty. They could have been lost.
I'm not finished. The inquiry noted that GPS data placed them on the official route. However, I looked over the data myself, and several odd GPS signals placed the Aaron hundreds of miles away from its supposed true position. I assumed they were errors at first. But if you match those coordinates... His finger tapped the red X's on the map. We all peered closely at the red dotted line, and sure enough, the marks tracked almost perfectly along the new red path.
I believe the Aaron chose to use a second route for some reason. It might have been a last-minute change due to changing weather or ice. Or it was a cover story. The first route was a trick. The second was a true course all along. All eyes glanced over at the possum. He had an intense look in his eye as he stared at the chart. Sharif gave him a withering look. Please, do not jump to conclusions. We don't know whether radio report differs from these GPS coordinates, or why these odd coordinates exist in the first place. Maybe they were lost. Aaron tutted and folded his arms. Or their equipment was faulty. Regardless, the fact these inexplicable coordinates matched the second route perfectly is simply too much of a coincidence. If you had this new information, why not bring it to the authorities? Why get us to fund this trip? I did. He hissed at words of a ripple of anger beneath his otherwise cool exterior. The authorities not feel it's sufficient to organize a new search. This was my last option. Believe me, if I'd had the means to fund this that did not require expending so much of my own money, or yours, I'd have taken it. The vast majority of the funds for this trip was hiring the sonar apparatus we'll be using to search the seabed once we arrive at a search location. Your contributions helped with chartering this vessel. But I believe I've said enough. We will depart in an hour. If you're having second thoughts, now is the time. It'll be approximately 3 days we'll reach the first search area. When you're free to make use of the ship's facilities and hospitality, please remember you're here for a reason. But for now, are there any more questions? There was a tense silence. Sharif scanned each of us with that piercing gaze. Very well. If you all don't mind, I need to discuss the journey with the captain. And with that, he rolled up the chart, scooped up his notebook, and strode up the stairs leading to the upper deck. For a while, no one moved as we all seemed to be absorbed in our own thoughts. Everyone looked somber. Despite Sharif's explanation, I had so many questions I didn't even know where to begin. Sharif finding this new itinerary was bringing up a lot of questions. As bizarre as Stefan's beliefs were, I couldn't help but agree with him that something felt very off. We were shaken from our thoughts when Tabby finally pushed back from the table noisily and walked suddenly toward the lounge. Gale quickly followed.
Glad to see we're all friends now. Tabby!
Despite her snark, it did at least seem to drain some of the tension. Rufus stretched, loudly cracking his knuckles and popping his shoulders. Well, came this far. I'm in. Same. If we find the Aaron, at least I can know for sure. We'll find it, and we'll bring them home. You'll see.
Evening, guys. So I hate to bore you all, but I need to give you a safety brief before we do anything else. Legal requirement for your own safety. You get the gist.
Her expression hardened from her usual scientist position as she began to explain to us the safety procedures and survival information. She gave a well-rehearsed speech about the ship's muster points, procedure for emergencies, where to find fire extinguishers.
But it's extremely important that you wear your personal flotation devices in the event of an emergency, and whenever you're instructed to do so by the crew. If you fall into the Arctic Ocean, cold shock can kill in as little as 1 minute. If you find yourself in the water, you need to resist the urge to panic. Get your breathing under control and don't thrash about unnecessarily. You will then have roughly 10 minutes of useful movement to get yourself out of the water or into a stable situation where you are floating before hypothermia sets in. After that, you will have about an hour before you become unconscious. Provided that you're wearing your PFD, you may have about another hour before your heart stops from the cold. Every effort will be made to rescue you if you fall overboard, so you must remember these rules to maximize your chance of surviving if you end up in the water. Are we all clear?
With such dire warnings, all the tension of before came rushing back. I swallowed nervously and gave a nod. It hadn't really sunk in just how dangerous this voyage could be.
I totally imagined that as like an airplane like reading, so maybe she meant to say that a little darker.
Everyone else seemed to be equally discomforted, but everyone gave a nod of grunt of acknowledgement.
Good. I'm sure you won't need this information, but it's important that you know. While I have your attention, here's your handbook. It contains all the safety information I just told you. A guide to the ship and its facilities, rules. You get the picture. Breakfast is served around 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. Lunch is 12 noon till 1:30 p.m. and dinner is between 4:30 and 6 p.m. Any questions or concerns? I'm your woman.
And just like that, our bright grin was back. I'm starving. I hope we've got some decent chow.
Chef is currently preparing a late supper. Please be patient. In the meantime, can I fix you folks a nightcap?
Well, that has to be the best damn idea I've heard all day.
Damn straight.
Sounds like a plan.
Ugh, no thanks. Though I wouldn't mind a snack. I haven't eaten since lunch. I'm pretty hungry too. I'll wait for something to eat.
You moved behind the bar as Dana, Rufus, and Aaron took up seats on the bar stools. Gail and Tabby took a seat on the sofas where Joseph had been sitting, who was nowhere to be seen. I suppose being the bosun meant to be pretty busy. Stefan had wandered over to the hatch that separated the bar area from the kitchen. I wasn't super tired right now, and having been told I had time to leave the ship before she departed, I found myself seriously considering leaving. Oh man, that's crazy. Can you believe he heard all that and he was like, man, I want to leave. Like that's such a beta cuck move.
I know, everyone else is going to judge him so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fine, don't worry. We
Okay.
can end the day, in the novel, I think. And then we can stop. But when I thought of how much money Mom had poured into this trip, my mind was racing. Maybe chatting a bit would help loosen me up. I still knew almost nothing about Dana or Rufus except who owned the Aaron they were related to. Aaron seemed a bit oblivious, and I could already tell he was a flirt. Seemed to be a decent sort, though. Sensitive about his sister, too, clearly. Stefan was by the open hatch of the kitchen, watching the chef work. He was a weirdo, but friendly enough. Plus, I was fascinated by his apparent rock-solid conviction that the Aaron crew was alive. And then there was Gail and Tabby. Gail was lovely, but I couldn't wrap my head around her conviction, like Stefan, that the Aaron crew were still alive. Tabby was a bit of a brat. I didn't much like her, but based on what she said, she'd been dragged to this voyage by Gail despite seemingly accepting their mother was almost certainly dead. I could empathize with that at least a little bit, I suppose. I glanced at the clock. I had time to chat a bit, maybe get the others' opinion on Cherie's plan. Who to speak with?
Who should we speak with?
I think we get to speak to everybody and then we get to leave.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So just say in case.
Okay.
And then just pick whoever you want.
Well, we gotta go for the scrungly boy for sure.
Stefan was watching through the open kitchen hatch, staring at something within. As I got closer, there was a flash of orange and a whoosh. Cool. As I got close, I saw the chef working his magic on a wok full of chunks of something, flipping with a bright plume of flame. Stefan seemed mesmerized by it. I mean, it was pretty cool. My cooking skills amounted to stuffing whatever into a pot and stewing the living daylights out of it. Hey, how are we... As I reached out to touch him, he jolted so much you'd think I tasered him. Did it pick up the thing?
No,
I
I
don't know.
think something might be happening on Discord where it cuts you out if you do something too. It's a
Weird.
specific octave, yeah. The
Oh,
Discord does
man.
that. We'll have to figure that
I
out.
did the perfect thing.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you know, like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, if it was higher,
Oh.
Discord probably did cut it. So we definitely need to figure that out.
Cringe. Don't sneak up on me like that. I nearly had a heart attack. Damn, man, so did I. We stayed here for a few moments before bursting into laughter. You need to relax more. And you need to wear a bell around your neck so you can't just sneak up on people. And a collar. And a muzzle. I wasn't sneaking. He cut me off with a loud snort, chuckling at my indignation. I found myself laughing, especially the mental image of wearing a bell. Isn't it cool? I love the way they can do that. Just flip stuff like that. That's pretty cool, yeah. I wonder if it's just showing off. Maybe. So, what do you think? Of Sharif, I mean. What do you mean? You don't think it's a little convenient? He knows the leader of the expedition. Claims he's a friend. And just when the official search dries up, suddenly finds a note from Hagen pointing out exactly where he is. Coincidence? I suppose. Come on, dude. Do you believe everything you're told at face value? Mate, why would he lie? I don't know, but it doesn't mean he isn't.
I just want to pinch his little cheeks. He's so cute.
Oh my god.
He's so
He's so
adorable.
swarpable. Look at him. Ah! He gave me a frustrated look. Never mind. I'm too hungry to explain. As if to emphasize his point, his stomach gave a loud growl. Alex always made the best goulash. What I would give for a bowl right now. Your brother, the cook, yeah? Yep. With him cooking, I can only imagine what amazing chow the crew get. I could swear I could almost see drool on his lips. And on yours, Donji. Don't think I can't see it.
Hey, I finished eating. I'm full.
That doesn't mean you're not still wanting for more.
I found another typo, though. What amazing chow the crew get. Got?
Get, because he still thinks they're
I
alive.
can only imagine. Oh, okay, yeah. Nope, never mind. No typo.
See, this is why I'm the editor.
Shut up.
BTFO.
I thought I was cool for a second.
I'm joking, don't worry.
I'm joking too, it's fine.
He sounds cool. Bet your mom and dad appreciate having a good cook around. His bright smile and happy gaze melted away. They died when I was young. My stomach clenched and my own smile vanished. God damn. Oh, mate. I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. You don't know. My bro raised me for most of my life, so we're super close. I can cook a mean borscht because of him. Plus he got me into lighters too. Oh, he collected? Yeah. It's how I know about your Elzern. That's a pretty specific interest, if you don't mind my saying. And you don't even smoke, am I right? Nope, never did. And neither did Alex. I just find him fascinating. He was a strange one, but he seemed like a decent type. I felt my curiosity just building to the point where I couldn't hold in my question anymore. I was meaning to ask, if you don't mind of course, but why are you so convinced they're still alive? His expression was odd. Not upset, more pensive. Have you ever heard of the Fiala expedition? Inwardly, I grimaced, bracing myself for a dose of crazy. No? It was an expedition reached the North Pole that took place at the turn of the 20th century. It failed, though. The ship got crushed in ice. But despite that, the expedition lost only one crew member, despite being trapped in the ice for nearly 2 years. Can you imagine? 2 whole years with an early 20th century ship in the Arctic. Now, imagine what the crew of the Erin could survive with a modern ship, all of its supplies and technology. Diesel-powered generators, tinned food, survival equipment. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean she couldn't have sank, right? He gave me a dirty look. You think a ship that size and not modern would just sink? Why not? You don't think modern ships sink all the time? The Erin had state-of-the-art emergency equipment. Did you pay attention to the inquiry? It had detachable beacons with GPS designed to transmit if they're submerged. If they went down, something would have been left behind to tell us. The fact they didn't means that wherever she is, the Erin is afloat. I would stake my life on it. Judging by the death glare it gave me, I believed it. Alright. I held up my hands placatingly. Look, just trust me on this, okay? Okay, sorry, I thought that was Garrett. I'm dumb. Look, just trust me on this, okay? I've done my research. Believe me, the air we're missing for a reason. Oh no. Professor Hagen isn't a climate scientist. He's an anthropologist. Why would he lead a mission to investigate glacial melting? It doesn't add up. I've done it. I've set him off. If he starts talking about the Jews or the Rockefellers, I'm out of here.
He is my favorite character because damn, I relate to all this.
Look, I want to have a wander around. I'm not sure I'll be staying on board, so just want to get a feel for the place before I decide, you know? Oh. Yeah, of course. But I hope you stay, you know? Thanks, man. See you later. He gave a cheeky grin, waved, then turned to stare through the kitchen hatch once more. God, when is dinner ready?
Do Gale and Tabby last?
I know I had to chase this son of a bitch across the base to get my pants back. Then the bastard threw them into a shower stall for private and got them all soaked. No, wait, that's not very Texan. Hold on. Fuck.
You gotta put
Damn
some
it.
twang on it.
And now I had to chase the son of a bitch across the base to get my pants back. Then the bastard threw them into a shower stall for private and got them all soaked.
Now you sound like Christopher Walking. And I had to chase the son of a bitch across the base to get my pants back. Maybe not that far.
If the protagonist is Texan and they can like mature a Texan accent, but if it's just once in a while, you know, for a side character, it's hard, okay?
I grew up around these people, so it's a little easier.
I understand, okay? I understand.
You gotta like,
I understand.
You gotta like put something in your lower lip and pretend there's something there, and like you're holding the rope and you're just like, then that bastard threw him in the straw and with a private and got them all show.
Listen, bud, this is not my first rodeo. I don't fucking know. Dude.
You don't have to. I'm teasing you.
Because he's a twunk, okay? It's because he's a twunk. If he wasn't all grizzled, like, if he was a fucking Texan Ranger, you know, like a fucking Chuck Norris, I could do it. But because he's young, I can't do it.
Yeah, he needs that handlebar mustache to really go in on it.
True. So there I was, roll call. My pants plastered my ass and legs, and I was the only one naked from the waist up. The rest of those at the bar were laughing. June almost doubled over, and Dana wiping a tear as Rufus told some raunchy story. He already had a pint of beer, from which he audibly gulped in between boisterously recounting something outrageous. Aaron had cider, I think. He sipped from it delicately when he wasn't chuckling along to Rufus' antics. That's that Rufus apostrophe
Oh,
S.
Rufus. Oops.
Oh man, give me
Write
a
it
sec.
down.
There we go. Dana also had a pint of beer, already half drained. Before my eyes, she gulped it greedily for nearly choking at something Rufus was saying.
How are you writing it so that they'll know, like, where it is?
I'm just writing Rufu apostrophe S.
Oh. I guess
They'll
they can
know.
look for that. No, they can
They
look
will
for that.
know, okay?
Yeah.
I'm using my psychic powers to communicate exactly where in the text that typo is, you know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be dead by the end of the night.
Exactly. That's the goal. Hey, mind if I take a seat? Oh, Gary, sure. I thought you missed some crazy shit Rufus got up to. So the sergeant made me get down and give him 50. And as I got 33, he made a ripping noise and mimed the splitting of something with his hands. I found myself mooning the entire squad. Din and June burst into giggles while Aaron face palmed. Let me guess, he gave you even more push-ups? 100. Plus a lap around the base of my ass showing.
Hey, thanks for the follow. What the heck is that? It's raining emojis.
Hey, nice.
Cool.
I admit, the mental image was both funny and kind of appealing. I joined in chuckling as June sidled along the bar toward me. Get you anything? Oh, sorry.
No,
This is
you're
your...
fine. Get you anything?
She motioned to the bar, stocked to the gills of a variety of spirits. My stomach tightened and my smile faded a little. No, thank you. I don't drink.
Seriously? What kind of man are you?
I bristled, not appreciating her implication. A man who doesn't drink. I shot her a glare, and she noticed I wasn't laughing. Nor, for that matter, were the others.
Christ, it was a joke. Lighten up. Hey, anyone else want something? I can whip up a real good pina colada.
Oh, me please! I'll take a pint of that Norwegian beer.
One Lervig coming right up.
Much obliged.
I'll have another pint too. Alrighty.
Aaron nudged.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry. Ah!
Aaron nudged me and gave a nod toward Gail and Tabby sitting at the sofas. It could be more obvious they were pissed at each other. What's your deal? Not sure. Reckon someone should check on him?
Leave them be. It's none of our business. Besides, they're sisters. They'll figure it out on their own.
I hate when ladies fight. Much rather hear them laugh than shout, you know?
Oh, Rufus, you're such a sweetheart. You think women shouldn't fight or argue?
No, I just hate it when they do. Feels wrong. Kind of chauvinistic, don't you think? I guess I'm kind of like a knight in that regard.
You're thinking of chivalry.
Aaron, June, Dana, and I exchanged baffled looks, but ended up smiling anyway. It was sort of a sweet sentiment. I think. So, Dana, Captain McGregor was your dad? In response, she necked a beer, audibly gulping for thumping the glass down and sighing. Even Rufus, already having emptied his first glass, gave her a funny look.
Emphasis on was. Why?
Well, I was just curious about him. The inquiry says some stuff about how he'd had problems with...
Wasn't Carrie the navigator?
A tense look shot between me and Rufus. June's smile faded again as she poured a pint, seemingly bracing herself for another argument. Yes?
In other words, the one who was supposed to keep the Aaron you know, not lost.
Despite not being in physical contact, I could feel his body tense. A soft tapping against his bar stool hit my ears. His paw was rapidly bouncing off it. It's an instinctual thing for Lapins, rapidly thumping the ground with a paw in response to stress and occasional fear. But judging by the sound of grinding teeth, this was less stress and more fury. He turned, facing her fully with a murderous look in his eyes. The fuck are you suggesting? Oh, fuck no, we're not having this bullshit. Calm down.
What do you think I'm suggesting? Heard she had an eye for someone on board. You saw those position reports. Maybe Carrie was distracted.
You say that again. Hey guys, enough. Through those rich, deep voice lent weight to his command. It was June who took us all by surprise.
That is more than enough, both of you.
Even Dana seemed taken aback. For such a sweethearted girl, June barked like a drill instructor. Fury etched on her face.
If you're going to be at each other's throats, you can leave the ship right now. Do I make myself clear?
There was silence in the room. Even Aaron's foot had stopped thumping. Then all of a sudden, Sedge's voice could be heard in the distance. Throw her overboard! Throw that bitch overboard!
Perfect.
She dare be me, the best boy. Kill her. Kill her immediately. Fine.
Stripes
What's
don't
the overboard?
float.
You didn't voice Dana, by the way.
Oh, I did, but I guess it didn't.
Oh.
Perfectly.
Fine. June's expression remained stern, but she placed the beer in front of Dana. Before she had a chance to place Aaron or Rufus's drinks, Dana gulped from her new pint, draining half in a single go. I glanced at Rufus, meeting his eyes. Clearly his boss had been very much killed. He gulped silently from his fresh pint. Aaron accepted his cocktail from June, but he simply poked at it, enthusiasm gone. With the mood very much ruined, I had no reason to sit here anymore. I excused myself. The two sisters were sitting around the same round table, but with a hefty gap between them. And because they clearly hadn't had enough of that argument, I went to sit with them. Because I guess I was just that kind of guy that just wants to have his night ruined, you know, when it's already going to shit.
God damn it.
How much worse can it possibly get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's go to the biggest bitch on the whole thing and move from one bitch
I
to
don't know,
another.
after that, I'm not sure if Tabby's the biggest bitch anymore. I'm not sure.
True, she is just more of a brat than she is like bitch.
Mm-mm. Exactly. Tabby's the brat, Dana's the bitch. You know, these are like two very different nouns, you know what I'm saying? The two sisters were sitting on the same round table, with a hefty gap between them. Gail was nestled on the bend of a couch, while Tabby was a good couple of feet apart from her. Shockingly, Tabby was futzing with her phone while Gail was staring off at the bar absently, clearly fuming. Gail's legs were crossed, her hoof bobbing up and down in clear agitation. I gingerly stepped closer. Gail didn't even notice me until I was almost standing directly in front of her. Garrett! Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's instinctual.
No, it's okay. You're voicing basically all of them except for like what, 4 characters?
Okay, that's 4 characters more than your average FVN, okay? I'm just saying.
No, true. I'm sorry. I was...
No, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to disturb you. I gestured to the far end of a sofa. Mia?
Don't be silly. Sit.
Don't be silly. Sit.
Sit! I know. I caught myself. I was like, do I want to reread that? But
Sit.
sit down.
It rhymed immediately, patting the seat next to her. I shimmied between the table and the sofa, hopping down a respectful distance from Gale.
I don't bite, Garrett.
I don't know. I don't want to tangle those horns. I don't have a spare eye anymore. We both chuckled, and she scooted closer to me anyway. Not quite touching, but certainly pretty close.
So what was Dana's issue?
Something to do with Aaron being Carrie Marsh's brother. Apparently she figures the Navigator was responsible for the Aaron disappearing.
So... Okay, wait. Sorry, ad thing was trying to... I don't know what the ad thing's doing. Excuse me. So, if we had played this in different like...
Probably.
It would have been different? That's cool. Did you tell that snooty bitch that ultimate responsibility lies with her captain daddy? Tabby, please. It's useless to throw blame around. I'm not, but if she's gonna be a cunt to Aaron because of his sister, someone should throw her daddy's position into her face.
I mean, she had a point. Even Gail seemed to think so, given she didn't contradict her, as much as she flinched at Daddy's language. I shrugged. I agreed with her, but what more could I add?
It's a nice ship, isn't it? June says it's normally for touring the Arctic, but they have some nice facilities too. A sauna, a small gym. They even converted part of the crew lounge to a sort of cinema.
Really? Hope the crew aren't too upset about that.
Nah. June says there's only 5 crew aboard. There's more than enough room.
Raise an eyebrow. 5? Isn't that a little light for a ship this size?
Really? You think so?
I mean, June is steward, I think. Then there's Joseph, the bosun. There's a chef too, so it's more than half the crew already. I'd imagine a captain and first officer are on the bridge. Even for a ship this size, I'd expect at least a few more deck crew. Joseph must be run off his hooves.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does seem weird. Especially if we're going to be doing a search and rescue.
Rescue. I had to bite my tongue to stop myself asking about that. Tabby rolled her eyes, but said nothing.
On that topic, what do you make of Sharif's plan?
Sorry, wait a sec. after this convo, I really gotta head to bed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, if what he says is true, it's possible the official search missed him. But it strikes me as odd that this Hagen guy left behind an alternative route that Sharif found, just as the official search ended. Would the university have known about it? Said something earlier?
You think he's lying?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. It just seems strange. I don't think it matters much anyway. I mean, it's been 2 years. Gail's expression flickered ever so slightly. It was obvious where I was going with this, and she decided to cut to the chase.
Garrett, you don't have to tell me how hopeless it sounds. Believe me, I think about it every day. But if I don't hold on to hope, then what? Mom is just gone. Nothing to bury, nothing to mourn.
Her expression was stoic. I could hear the slight break in her voice. Her right eyes flicked away from mine, unfocused. I could very much understand. Many days, weeks, months with Mom. Watching her cycle between bawling despair and catatonia gave me more than my feel of a grieving process.
I mean, wait. I mean...
Try again.
Yeah. I mean, don't you want to know what happened to your brother? At the very least, to know for sure, one way or another.
Guess. She noticed my hesitation and paused for a moment, looking into my eyes until I couldn't meet her gaze.
You didn't get along with him, right?
I continued to stare at the floor, hugging myself under the guise of folding my arms. The pit in my stomach worsened, and the prospect of just quitting this trip became ever more tempting. Before I could answer, Tabby cut in with a loud thud and sigh.
Leave him alone.
The look on Gail's face could have killed. I'd seen her angry during the meeting, but this was something else. I found myself shrinking back from her.
Trust me, Garrett. I've had this. It says it's back. Maybe. So dumb.
Fuck me.
Okay, it says it's back.
Okay, yeah, it says live.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm back in the chat room. Okay, let's go. Yay.
Annoying.
Although now all the chat room messages are gone, but it's fine because stream's almost over anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll load the or upload the YouTube.
Yeah. She has the words, her fist balled up. She was almost trembling with rage.
Of course. Just like you didn't ask if I wanted to come along on this fucking trip. Tabby.
The warning in her voice made my fur prickle. I could hear her seething, but Tabby had clearly had enough.
You think I don't care about Mom? You think I want to never see her again? Not have a body to bury?
I raised my hand in a futile attempt to placate her. Venom dripped from her words, and her glare was fixed on her sister.
What I don't want is to keep picking at this fucking wound for the rest of my life.
She jumped to her feet, glaring at Gale, and for the briefest moment, I was scared they were going to start throwing punches. But, thankfully, I think, she spun around and stormed out toward the cabins. Once again, the air went frigid as all eyes followed Tabby, then focused on us. But mainly Gale. Her eyes remained fixed on the door Tabby had left through, gazing daggers and apparently oblivious to the fact everyone was now staring. The dire warnings June had given of an icy death in the Arctic waters sounded like a fantastic evening plan if it meant leaving the situation. I gave an awkward cough. No effect. I swear I could hear her teeth grinding. I gingerly reached out, terrified I'd lose fingers. Gale? That seemed to snap her out of it. She took a moment, scanning the room only to realize she was the center of attention.
Sorry, everyone. It's been a stressful time.
Everyone turned back to what they were doing, and a smattering of chat started anew. Gale and I sat in awkward silence for a moment, her gaze locked on the table.
She's not entirely wrong.
Her voice was quiet, almost a whisper. She still didn't look up at me, instead staring, unfocused.
I did insist she come with me.
I saw tears starting to form as her voice broke. My mouth opened to speak, but anything I wanted to say caught in my throat. Really, what could I say to her? Other than, wow, what a cunt.
I just didn't want... I'm sorry, Garrett. Could you excuse me?
I nodded numbly and she stood before quick walking to a door leading to the cabins. Chatting dimmed for a moment as she left, and I felt a few gazes on me. And now they think I'm the cunt. Well, I could have gone better. Realizing I was sitting awkwardly alone, I rose as quietly and nonchalantly as I could, given I'd been a foot from ground zero. I hope they were okay. As much as I wanted to go after to check, this really wasn't my fight. Alright, we can probably stop here.
Okay, yeah, I gotta hope that